We did a refurb on this project in the last couple of months. It involved general kitchen, bathroom, upgrading the whole of the property. Halfway through the project, our investor decided to insulate property internally and externally and doing the floors, mainly because of the changes which are coming in 2025 and maybe 2030. So what we at the same time did, we've insulated all timber floors. On the front wall, we've insulated the front wall we've insulated internally, and the back wall we've insulated externally. So from the outside, property looks exactly the same like the other properties. We just painted the render. It looks differently at the back, and then by carefully looking at the details, you can notice, that it's been insulated internally on the front wall.
So if we start from the floor up, can you explain what you've done with the floor?
Yes, it's with the floor, with the timber floors, we used a recommended way of insulating the floors for all the properties, for period properties, which involves lifting the existing floorboards, making sure that there is there's a big enough gap of air under the floor joist, then laying the breathable membrane and creating the pockets between the floor joists, laying the insulation like a rock wool type between the floor joists, putting another layer of breathable membrane and then covering with floorboards and then underlay and carpet. It's a quite complex system, and it's a very good system from the comfort point of sight, and it's from the feel. The floor is quiet, it's warm. When you work with the old floor joists, they can be at different sizes, so it allows us to work with the existing structure and at the same time be really careful not to leave any gaps around the floor joist or around the external or internal walls. Even right now, this is the cupboard for meters. What's visible here is that it's the breathable membrane, which is directly below the floorboards, and the insulation we use between the floor joists. So this actually, for me, is the sign of a proper job, that it's all the gaps all around the perimeter of the room, they've been sealed. What happened in the last few years, we use a different type of polystyrene. So it's a rigid polystyrene with a normal plasterboard, and then that's what is different, So it's and it's got a better qualities, better thermal qualities of that polystyrene. That's a different thing. We use a different polystyrene. We need to fix polystyrene to the wall first, make sure it's and then nice and straight surface, and then we put some layers of like a base coat and special mesh, and then on top of that it's a silicone based render. So it is a system which is not disruptive to the house, and at the same time you need scaffold, you need a good weather. You have to ask yourself a question: can I skin the wall? Can I fit the plasterboards to a good standard? And do I know really what is the right way of, what is the right sequence and system for insulating floors and walls? from my experience, it would be quite difficult to do it on your own. It's not a DIY project.